I am so thrilled to be here with you to chat about the National Convention Party, the DNC convention that just took place recently in the US. Wow, wow, wow. Did you see the hype, the crowd? Wow, I don't know. I don't know how the Republicans are going to, top that or follow up. But I am so happy that it was a major success. And there were some highlights. I got to hear Hillary Clinton, Oprah Winfrey, Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama. Oh my God, on TikTok, how comment about how does Trump know? Does Trump even know if the job he's clamoring for is a black job? Alluding to his racist comments, It's been wow. I don't need a therapist, okay? I'm just tuning to the DNC convention and then I'm going to crack up. Dion Hughley made me laugh so much, but I really appreciate his honesty and his courage to come forward and say that he apologized openly, that he was sorry for making assumptions that he didn't verify. Even Google, he said he could have done that before he went to be bashing Kamala Harris about certain things that he had joked or commented about. So those kind of stuff I really pick up and I want to talk about. That is integrity. Also, did you see or listen to Amanda Goma, her poem? I was taking notes for her poem. At a certain time, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to Google it each time I want to listen to her again and just listen and let it sink. It was amazing. I don't think she is a regular person. I think she's a supernatural person. For God to give a lot of gifts to someone like that, it's just amazing. And I can see that person becoming a president sometime in the very near future. It is possible. Nothing is impossible. Look at that. Did we even think we're going to get a woman's vice president anytime soon? Talk less of one that is part black and part Indian, and now about to become the president of the United States, because she will, The other one shot himself on the foot with just shooting his mouth randomly anywhere, not making sense. So, but get to the point where I want to go is the person who said, how can a party claim to be patriotic if it idolizes a man who tries to overthrow a free and fair election? I wish I could give that as a quiz and then you can answer. But, let's just go straight to the point. It is former Republican Adam Kinzinger that said that when it was his turn to speak. This is a man that flipped from Republican Party to Democrat to support Kamala Harris. He spent 2021 to 2023 under the Republican ticket as a rep, but he wasn't happy. In that speech, powerful speech, which you're going to listen, which you probably have heard already, but which I have, after this, is he says that he blames Trump for sapping the strength of the Republicans and for suffocating their soul. For suffocating the soul of the Republicans and for weakening their strength. On why he's taking a stand by leaving the Republicans to join Democratic Party, he says this. He says, because he's doing it for his country, he says, we must put our country first. And he urged the Republicans also to summon up the courage necessary to stand up against one weak man.
I was relieved to discover that because I've learned something about my party too. Something I couldn't ignore. The Republican Party is no longer conservative. It has switched its allegiance from the principles that gave it purpose to a man whose only purpose is himself. Donald Trump is a weak man pretending to be strong. He is a small man pretending to be big. He's a faithless man pretending to be righteous. He's a perpetrator who can't stop playing the victim. He puts on quite a show, but there is no real strength there. As a conservative and a veteran, I believe true strength lies in defending the vulnerable. It's in protecting your family. It's in standing up for our Constitution and our democracy. That is the soul of being a conservative. It used to be the soul of being a Republican, but Donald Trump has suffocated the soul of the Republican Party. His fundamental weakness has coursed through my party like an illness, sapping our strength, softening our spine, whipping us into a fever that has untethered us from our values. Our democracy was frayed by the events of January 6th, as Donald Trump's deceit and dishonor led to a siege on the United States Capitol. That day, I stood witness to a profound sorrow, the desecration of our sacred tradition of peaceful transition of power, tarnished by a man too fragile, too vain, and too weak to accept defeat. How can a party claim to be patriotic if it idolizes a man who tried to overthrow a free and fair election? How can a party claim to stand for liberty if it sees a fight for freedom in Ukraine, an attack pitting tyranny against democracy, a challenge to everything our nation claims to be? And it retreats, it equivocates, it nominates a man who is weirdly obsessed with Putin. And his running mate who said, quote, "I don't care what happens in Ukraine." And he wants to be vice president. Yeah. How can a party claim to be conservative when it tarnishes the gifts that our forebears fought for? Men like my grandfather, who served in World War II, who believed in a cause bigger than himself, and he risked his life for it behind enemy lines. To preserve American democracy, his generation found the courage to face down armies. Listen, all we're asked to do is to summon the courage to stand up to one weak man. Some have questioned why I've taken the stand I have. The answer is really simple, ladies and gentlemen. We must put country first. And tonight, as a Republican speaking before you, I'm putting our country first.